Ok, finalmente llegamos. Estamos en el pretérito y el imperfecto. Ok. En esta lección vemos que hay dos formas del pasado. Ok, el pretérito y el imperfecto. Y si recuerdan, el pretérito incluye las formas como hablé, haste, o, hamos, hasteis y Aaron. Y también son los verbos de ere. Y aquí tenemos las formas salí, saliste, salió, salimos, salisteis y salieron. Ok, todo eso es el pretérito. Y repaso rápidamente del imperfecto. Sabemos que el imperfecto es hablaba, hablabas, hablábamos, cuidado, hablábamos, tiene acento, hablábamos, y ia, salía, salías, ok. Y aquí tenemos irregulares, era, para ser, iba, para ir, y veía, ok. So, pequeño repaso de las conjugaciones. Ahora vemos porque hay dos formas del pasado cuando usamos esta forma y cuando usamos esta forma. Puedes ver que hay muchas reglas aquí y en la próxima página, y esto está en D2L, está aquí en estructura, lesson 10, estructura, the Preterite and Imperfect packet. Okay. Y vamos a ver la lección. Aquí con el pretérito vemos, primero tenemos 5 reglas. Okay. So empezamos aquí. Reports past actions that the speaker views as finished and completed. Okay. Por ejemplo, Gustavo tuvo un accidente anoche. Me pusieron una inyección ayer. Okay. Para ver esto, podemos mirar este dibujo. Okay. Aquí vemos que esta línea significa tiempo. Ok. Y significa tiempo. Y por eso no para. Tiempo is always going. We can't stop it if we want to. Okay. So time is continuous. Mientras esta línea significa una acción. Tiempo completo. Something happened, okay? So while this one is continuous, we switch and these are it occurred, it happened, okay? So these are completed actions in the past, okay? So aquí, número 1, views as finished and completed. So here, Gustavo tuvo un accidente anoche, so we see tiempo, tuvo un accidente. The speaker here knows el accidente ocurrió ocurrió a la 1:30. Okay? We don't know when, but the speaker knows exactly when it happened. Okay? So, tuvo un accidente. Me pusieron una inyección ayer. Okay, anoche, ayer, those are clues for last night, tuvo un accidente, right then. Ayer me pusieron una inyección. It didn't continue, it's a completed action. Okay, número dos, sums up a condition. So, wait, one more thing. Aquí, anytime you have an action the speaker views as finished and completed, these point back to preterite. Okay, now, número dos sums up a condition or state viewed as a whole and no longer in effect. Okay, so número dos, me dolió la pierna toda la noche. Okay, so número dos tenemos tiempo. Okay, y aquí toda la noche. Me dolió la pierna aquí. Okay, so vemos una duración de tiempo. Okay, so aquí tenemos tiempo, acción, aquí duration of time. Okay, so me dolió la pierna toda la noche. Okay, número tres, interrupts a progressive action. Okay, so para número tres tenemos tiempo. Okay, so aquí yo estudiaba. We will see imperfect. I was studying. Okay, when, ¿dónde está? I was studying when he left, cuando salió. Okay, so we have wow, no puedo escribir. Continuous with an interrupter. Okay, so was studying, ing, that's your imperfect. With the interrupter, we'll go preterite. Okay, and then número cuatro, series of actions in the past. Okay, so tenemos tiempo. A series of actions. A series of completed actions, I might say. Okay, so a series of actions in the past. Por ejemplo, we'll go in red like we've been. Hablé, almorcé, estudié. Okay, fui. So completed actions. Y número cinco, tells an action that began at a specific time and ended at a specific time. Okay, so número cinco, tenemos tiempo. Okay, la clase empezó a las 2. Tenemos tiempo. Empezó. We know exactly when it started. Okay? Or el baile terminó a la medianoche. Okay, so we don't know when it started, but we know exactly when it ended. 12 o'clock. Okay? Uno más describes actions that were repeated a specific number of times. Okay, so se escribieron todos los días por 2 años. Okay? Repeated, but only a specific number of times. Okay? So here your time is, it happened but only within these limits of time. Okay? So, pretérito en resumen, tenemos, número uno, completed actions. So a series of completed actions. Número dos, sums up a whole. So during this time. Número tres, you have a continuous with an interrupter. Número cuatro, we have a series of completed actions. Okay, so this one would be la rutina diaria would be a good example of this. So esta mañana me desperté, me duché, fui a la cocina y pues comí, etc. Okay, so completed actions. Okay, ahora vamos al imperfecto. Okay, so aquí hay más reglas. Perdón. Okay, so el imperfecto voy a usar esta parte. Okay. Pues sería mejor usar otra página. Está bien. Okay. El imperfecto describes a progressive action, unfinished action, interrupted by the preterite. Okay, so you have this one again. Was studying. So now we're looking at this part. So it describes a progressive action. We'll put our time. Unfinished, interrupted by the preterite. So ing. Por ejemplo, iba a la biblioteca cuando lo vi. Iba means I was going to the library when I saw him. Okay, so you have iba, I was going, cuando lo vi. I saw him. Okay, or yo hablaba con él, hablaba con él cuando ellos vinieron. Okay, so progressive action. So this is always, you'll have an ongoing, which I should have written in green, ongoing, with interrupter. Okay, número dos, tenemos refers to repeated or habitual actions or events used to do something. Okay, so tenemos tiempo. Cuando era niña tomaba aspirina todos los días. When I was young, where could you point to on that line for was? No, I used to take. It's not I took yesterday. That's not what we have here. Or I took last week. We don't have that. We have I used to take. So it could have been here. It could have been here, here, here. Muchas veces. Okay. Entonces tenemos tomaba cuando era niña tomaba, or we could even switch these around. Tomaba aspirina todos los días cuando era niña. I mean, there's no order, no sequence, so those can go anywhere. Ahora, número 3 describes a physical, mental, or emotional state or condition in the past. So physical, mental, emotional conditions, states in the past go imperfecto. Okay? So emotional, physical states, conditions in the past. That's just when you hay que memorizar. So conditions, emotions en el pasado van al imperfecto. Me dolía mucho la cabeza. Okay. Número 4, time, tiempo en el pasado siempre imperfecto. Eran las 2 de la tarde cuando lo trajeron al hospital. So, tiempo, la hora, hay que memorizar. Tiempo siempre imperfecto. También, age, la edad, en el pasado, siempre imperfecto. Hay que memorizar age imperfecto. Y age usa tener. Cuando tenía 20 años, vivía en Chile. Cuando tenía 2 años. Okay? Now, so tiempo, age, time and age, you really don't even have to think about. Just memorize them. Time and age, siempre imperfecto. Physical, emotional conditions in the past. You're describing a physical, emotional condition. Just memorize. That goes imperfect. Now, generally used in indirect discourse. Okay, so indirect discourse. He said, she said. The doctor said that necesitaba una radiografía. He said, she said. When someone said something, you're going to go that route. Okay, describes or sets the stage in the past. This one, you kind of need, so say you have una escena. You have a stage here. Las cortinas. Las cortinas. Okay, when the curtains open, everything that's on the stage. So I can't draw. Let's say that's a table, cuaderno, or maleta. Let's say that's a suitcase. It would be better if I could draw flores. That's a really bad flower. So you have the stage sitting here. Everything that's on the stage when the actors come out is going to go imperfect. So setting up the scene, whatever's there ahead, imperfect. So, por ejemplo, había una mesa. There was a table. Unas flores. There was a table, flowers, y una maleta. And a suitcase. Okay? Y de repente, el actor salió. Okay? So, de repente, el actor salió. We go to preterite. Okay? So, cuando hablamos de estas cosas, what was already there, or previous to the action, okay? So, what was before, or even after, setting up the scene, or after the scene, we're going to use mainly setting up the scene imperfect. Okay, you're describing what was there. But then the actor comes in and the action starts. So all of a sudden the actor salió. At the end, he left. Or you could say entró. El actor entró. Okay, and then you start a new window. Okay, so the actor comes out, and then in that window, he went to the table, Fue a la mesa. Se sentó. Sat down. Okay. So we'll talk a lot more about this one as we go. Okay, so describes or sets the stage in the past. Por ejemplo, con el tiempo. Tiempo, weather tiempo. There's two tiempos, right? So, hacía frío y llovía. Okay, it expresses continuance, something that existed for a period of time. Okay, Juan vivía en España. Okay, so continuance. He lived in Spain, but we're not putting he lived in Spain for 2 years, just he lived in Spain. Vivía en España. Okay, it's more general. Plans a future action. Okay, so ella dijo, she said that iba a salir pronto. She said that she iba was going. Okay. Dijo que fue. Ir en el pretérito significa went. Okay. But iba, ir en el imperfecto was going. Okay. Now, número 10 expresses where something or someone was. Mi casa estaba en la esquina. Estaba en la reunión. Where someone was or something was. And then lastly, descriptions. Describes people or things in the past. Descriptions in the past go imperfect. Ella era muy simpática. Okay, so descriptions. So descriptions, time, age, conditions. Those are easy memorization. So these guys go imperfect. Okay, so era tímida, callada y quieta. Cuando estaba en la escuela primaria. Okay, so we have descriptions. Era tímida, callada y quieta cuando estaba en la escuela primaria. Okay, bueno, so aquí tenemos las reglas. Okay, y hay que memorizar. Hay que memorizarlas. Memorizar las reglas. That's the only way to get here. You have to memorize all these. Okay, so that you'll know when we use preterite, when we use imperfect. Now, can Spanish speakers tell you these rules? No. Why? Spanish speakers know how they work. Spanish speakers have a concept of this time and they have a concept of this time and they use them accordingly. But when a non-native speaker gets to Spanish and they see wow, both of those are past. English, we only have one past. So when do I use this? When do I use this? So we had to put some rules. So to learn Spanish, we have to put some rules behind these two forms and try to figure out what goes where so that we begin to understand how the Spanish brain uses this. How the Spanish brain uses this. Okay, so a short resumen here, completed actions. You have a lot of your ED. I talked to him. I entered. I walked into the store. I completed the assignment. Okay? While imperfect has your INGs. Used to. And those are short. Those will not get you all. You still have to learn those rules. Okay? If you memorize all those rules and you get this concept of the 2 times, then you apply all that to your práctica. The most important thing you can do with this lesson is mucha práctica. Okay? Y por eso tenemos mucha práctica. Okay? I threw this whole thing in here, but this PDF is in your D2L and you can use it to practice. Okay? Buena suerte y vamos a practicar.